Yo, welcome back to another video. Hey, as you can tell by today's video, we're gonna talk about pros and cons of owning an STI in 2024, and is it still worth trying to get a Subaru WRX STI in 2024? So let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the pros first, and then follow that by having the cons afterwards. So one of the pros of having an STI or buying an STI in 2024 is the aesthetics, right? So the car looks amazing as is, whether you leave it stock or you go modify the outer appearance of the car. As you can see, I got, front lip, side skirts, canards. I got the gurney flap in the back, rear diffuser, the whole nine. For having a 2018 or 2015 plus in general, it's just the outer shell just looks so beautiful. Like, you can never go wrong with picking up an STI here in 2024. So if you're looking to buy one for the looks, go ahead and copy. And I do apologize for the wind in the background if the camera does pick it up, but we're gonna keep pushing on. I will try to invest in the mic to try to eliminate some of the wind noise as much as possible. The second pro of owning or trying to buy an STI in 2024 would be the aftermarket support. The aftermarket support for these cars are endless. Like, these cars have literally any manufacturer you could think of. They create something for this car, whether it be wheels, whether it be lips, side skirts, aftermarket wings, aftermarket side mirrors, whatever it is you could think of. 9 times out of 10, somebody has it, and if they don't, they'll probably make it for you. Like, you got Cobb, you got Grimspeed, you got Subi Speed, you have who else is it? You got Nvidia. It's a bunch of companies out here that make parts for these cars. So if you're ever thinking about getting a car and whether there are parts available for this car, they're everywhere. Like, the STI in general, like, these are like Legos. You can literally go pull stuff off of a 2015 and throw it on here, or whether it's engine modifications, you can go as low as, I believe it's like '02, and you can pull parts off of there and throw it on. You could pull parts off of old cars and put them on the current present generation of the STI. Same thing with the WRX up until I want to say it is 2014, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, leave it down in the comments for, the new viewers that are coming into the video. Also, another pro is the community behind it. Like, the Subaru community as a whole is just like nothing but people trying to help you build your car, whether you have, the EJ, the FA, the EG, whatever engine you got. There's always going to be a form available for you. Granted, some forms may be out of date, but you can still use those as a great tool to sit here and try to, make the perfect Subaru STI or WRX. I use the forums all the time. Whenever I have a question, I'll go in and I'll go look and see if anybody else had the same exact questions that I did and how they solved them. Granted, these cars do come with a lot of problems, if you don't take care of them. But if you do take care of these cars, they will take care of you. Just go out there, just go pick up one. Don't be scared. Yeah, it's rumors out there saying that, oh, the head gaskets go out. That's not true. I've never had a head gasket issue with my STI or my WRX when I had it. So don't let head gaskets be the issue on why you don't go and pick up a STI or a WRX. And if you're thinking about getting one as a daily driver, I would say you can. I'll give you the differences between the WRX and the STI. Both on the inside, I'm like 5'11", 6 foot. It has a great amount of space on the inside that can fit like four to five passengers in the car, comfortably. Like, I've had 5 people in my car and no one has ever had an issue with getting in. And I have some taller friends, I got some short friends, and they all fit in this car perfectly. This is like the perfect daily car, like, if you just want to get one. Now, the only downside to having an STI would be the gas mileage, but that's the price that comes with it. Not only is it gas mileage, but you do get the power behind it, as far as, like, if you're thinking about gas and wanting to spend money on gas all the time, I would say go with the WRX. That one's a little bit more gas efficient of a daily. I probably fill up maybe like 2 times a week, if that, depending on how I'm driving. If I'm not on the car hard, the gas in this car can last me for about a week. But if I'm really on the car, I say I'm at the gas station for probably 2 days out of the week, versus my WRX where I was only at the gas station maybe once every other week. And that car, I got 21 miles to the gallon. This one, I'm averaging about 15, maybe 18 on the highway, but that's due to me having bigger injectors and having upgraded fuel lines. So if you're thinking about the gas mileage, I would say go with the WRX over the STI. If you don't really care about gas, then just go ahead and get the STI. I would say another pro would be the amount of attention that you get with this car. There's like a lot of people out here that really like these cars and they appreciate them for what they are. I've always had like random people saying, I have a nice car, or this is their dream car, or whatever the case may be. So you will get a lot of attention with this car, whether it's from, people or the cops. This is a cop magnet car. In most states, like California, for example, like if you have modifications or aftermarket exhaust, they're gonna come after you. But some cops, they might just, pull up next to you and they might say, hey, nice car. They might be a car enthusiast as well. But, at the end of the day, this car does attract a lot of attention. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the cons. One of the cons of owning the STI in 2024 would be gas mileage, as I stated earlier in the video. With the way gas prices is in some states here on the West Coast and Washington, I want to say gas is probably $4.50 something cents. Could be higher, could be lower. It did drop down close to the $3 range a couple times, but I want to say this is a 15-gallon tank, so I'm probably paying anywhere between $55 to $60 to fill up from empty all the way up to full, which isn't bad compared to a lot of other vehicles. The WRX would be more of a gas saving car for you if you don't want to spend that much money on gas. They both share the same size tank and they both take premium, so just keep that in mind when picking one of these up, if you ever have doubts of gas mileage or whatnot. Another con would be the suspension on the car. It's a little stiff on the STI versus the WRX having a little bit more comfortability as far as having suspension. It's a bit bumpy. It's not too crazy. I had coilovers on my WRX that had some crazy insane stiffness in them, and I would say those were probably a little bit more harsh than factory suspension on this car, which is what I'm currently on right now. So the WRX has a lot more friendly of a suspension. It's not as rowdy and bumpy as it is in the STI in my comparison, but to me, I really feel like it's not that bad in both cars, But if you're coming from a car that has, a lot quieter of a ride, or, less stiff of a ride, then you might notice it. But if not, then you're not gonna notice, the harshness of the suspension on this car. It's really not that bad. Another con would be the seats. I personally don't have any issues with my seats, but for some people, they might find them a little uncomfortable. I got the Recaro seats in my car as we speak right now. The bolstering is not really, on the, I want to say it's the seat part of the seats themselves, but on the sides, they don't hug you, but they are there. They do a little something, but nothing too crazy. So if you want to go aftermarket seats, you can. Long periods of drive, they can get a little rough, on the edges when, doing like 2-hour, 3-hour drives. They can get a little uncomfortable, I will say that. But at the end of the day, I like my seats, and if you like the seats, by all means, go ahead and don't let that stop you from getting a car. Another con for this car would be the bad rep that it gets, especially the EJ motors. A lot of people will say that, oh, they're gonna have head gasket issues, or the oiling system is terrible, this, that, and the third. But in my opinion, I've never had any head gasket issues. I never had any oiling issues with the cars, with either the FA or the EJ. Never had those issues. Those came from the previous, or yeah, the previous models. You know, in the back in the 90s, where they wasn't using multi-layer steel head gaskets. The oiling in the car, it doesn't consume a lot of oil. It really don't. I probably do my oil changes every 3K. After 3K, I want to say you should go ahead and start changing your oil on the car, because at that point it is starting to get a little low. It also gets a lot of hate too from the haters that say, oh, the car is overpriced for what it is. I got my car for probably like $32,000 post COVID. So I didn't really break the bank when going out here and purchasing this car. I want to say my WRX was around 30K whenever I bought it, and both cars I got at roughly 42,000 miles. So I've never really had any issues with my cars, other than some minor issues, maybe like a sensor go out here and there, but you know, that's with any car. So don't let that stop you from obtaining your dream car, whether it's the STI or the WRX. I'm gonna throw in a couple bonus pros and cons. I will say, owning the STI, you get the adaptive headlights. So when you turn your steering wheel left and right, the headlights themselves, they turn left and right with the steering wheel to give you, like, I guess, better lighting around corners. I will say another con that I don't like will be changing the spark plugs on this car. It can be a little tedious versus, you know, having your traditional inline 4-cylinder motors where the ignition coils are on the top. These are on the side, so it'll take you, like, I want to say about an hour or two just to get the job done, versus like popping out coils and spark plugs on a Jetta or something, and it takes you probably like 10-15 minutes, if that, if you know what you're doing. I will say, owning these cars are fun when taking turns and doing canyon runs as well. So if you like doing canyon runs and whatnot, and if you have those type of roads in your area, you know, these cars are really great at turning with their turn radius and getting in and getting out of turns. So this car has very, very great handling for an all-wheel drive car. I will not put any other car above this car. That's just my opinion. You know, other people may have their own opinion, but if you like doing spirited driving, go ahead and copy you a STI or a WRX. They handle amazingly. But other than that, that's gonna conclude today's video. If you guys like today's video, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop down some comments down below. I will be reading them on, you know, mods that y'all want to see on the car. I do have a special package coming in. I'm not gonna tell y'all yet, but y'all will see when it comes in what it is. If you already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and turn on that post notification so you never miss another video. And with that, I will leave you guys to it.